would Dez make the Packers?
He wouldn't. They just let a guy go that had arguably the best rapport with Jordy Nelson. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, maybe than any receiver that Aaron has ever played with. So I don't see how he would make him better, because how does the Packers' problem is not offense. They can score. Aaron Rodgers is great. Adams is, come on, he's a Pro Bowler. Yeah. You signed Jimmy Graham, who's a Pro Bowler, top 5 tight end. Okay. Randall Cobb can still do things. They drafted 3 receivers. Skip. Now, granted, some of them were in the later rounds, but they drafted. So they're good at that sport. They need defense. They need to be able to stop someone. And Jason Witten, Jason Witten was on Adam Schefter's, I think, podcast. He was. And he said Dez would be a great addition because the way Aaron Rodgers throws the back shoulder ball and high point the ball. Nothing about no route tree. No. 2 throws. Think about that. Because he needs to play somebody that can put the ball anywhere. Wow. Just a lot. Like that pressure that you said that's on LeBron, think about the pressure you put on your quarterback that he has to put the ball in certain spots. But I can neutralize the back shoulder fade because I'm going to play on his back shoulder because I'm not worried about him running by me. See, that's how you neutralize that. That's the true. Back shoulder fade works when the player, the DB, is worried about you going over the top. That's why it works so well with Jordy Nelson. That's why it works so well with Adam. But what can they also do? They can run the entire route tree. So when I only have to play for 2 routes and I battle you on the 50-50 balls and you're not nearly as athletic as you were in 2014, Skip, I don't see how he makes them better. And even if he were to go there, how do they all of a sudden get better than the Vikings, the Rams, the Saints,
the Cowboys?
Stop. Hold on. See, Skip. Every time I try to
ruin everything,
you do. How, if you sign, first of all, and they don't even know if they have is going to get Dez, but how would they be better than Minnesota? How would they be better than the Rams? How would they be better than the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers? Aaron Rodgers is great. But they still can't stop anybody. That's been their problem since they won the last Super Bowl. They can't stop anybody. Even though Aaron Rodgers has been transcendently great.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Transcendental?
Yeah. He's been all that. Great. Sometimes he'd have on that goat mask I be having.
By the way, don't forget this. Minnesota still has a quarterback problem.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
They have Kirk Cousins.
Don't do that.
$28 million a year. Just remember that. That's why the odds makers don't have much respect.
So why they don't have much respect for the Cowboys?
They have them as the 8th team in
the.
8 teams make the playoffs.
They're only 16.
Okay. All right.
But I get y'all not making the playoffs. Can we put some due on that?
We already got due on it. I mean, you said
no. We got due on 7 and 9. We ain't got no due on the playoffs.
Okay, I'll do double due.
Oh yeah,
double due.
Oh, that's how I get. That's how I get it back.
That was easy.
See, I get it back from you. Just
all
like
I got to do is make the playoffs. I was thinking about
how that work out for you last year.
Making a run.
How that work out for you?
Well, everything went wrong last year, and everything will go right this time because it's due to go right. They are due.
Open.
Now, back to Joy's question. I'm going to give Aaron Rodgers this much. I believe he would maximize whatever is left of Dez Bryant. I do believe he would try to figure out the best ways to utilize him. But to your point, I think Aaron would, by midseason, conclude what we concluded by midseason a year ago, which is Dez now is what he isn't.
Right.
Because he isn't that, he isn't that, and he isn't that. He's lost a step. He can't separate. He drops too many balls because the pressure mounts on him to catch the balls that do come his way. And he's more liability and more trouble than he's worth.
And it gets real cold.
It gets real cold up there. Yeah.
So if you're dropping balls in a climate-controlled environment, I don't know.
That could be a problem. But by the way, for once, Dez would be playing with and for a quarterback who's an even bigger diva than Dez is. So maybe Dez would listen to Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, because Aaron would just say, would you just shut up and play?
Okay, but let me ask you this. Okay, Dez goes from being the #1 receiver since he set foot in Dallas.
I know.
Adams is 1.
He is definitely #1.
Jimmy Graham is 2.
I would say,
Cobb
not
is
a
3.
co-#1.
Cobb is 3.
He would
so
be.
Dez is going to be okay with being the 4th option.
And by the way, Geronimo Allen caught a bunch of balls for them, so he would be competing with Geronimo for that.
Dez going to be good with that.
You happy with that?
Dez going to be good with that.
You're going to avoid power?
So how many balls is he going to catch? Now, he caught, 60 balls last year as the #1 option, getting 130, 140 balls thrown his way? Well, I mean, if you throw 140 balls the fourth guy's way, that means you can, attempted 800 passes. Well, they're not attempting 800 passes. So what are we talking about here, Steve?
Interesting. So, to your big picture point, the odds makers have Green Bay second in the NFC, and they finished 26th in points allowed last year. How is that possible?
Tell me.
And again, they did go out and draft. They went defense. They went cornerback, and then they took Oren Burks out of Vanderbilt University with their third-round pick, a linebacker who's pretty good. Remember, Vanderbilt football factory. Don't ever forget it.
Yeah.
So they got another good one. Watch, there'll be another kid.
Your bottom feeders.
Huh?
Bottom feeders.
Bottom feeders. We had Casey Hayward on. He's the best cornerback in pro football. Where did he start? With the Green Bay Packers, right?
And remember last year's second round pick towards Achilles, and I think he's coming back. So they got three.
They're loading up.
Yes.
And I like the Jair Alexander and Josh Jackson. They took their first two picks.
Yep,
Cornerbacks. So they will get better there. But by the way, my Cowboys are all the way down at 8. They were 13th in points allowed. So let's see, Green Bay 26th and Dallas 13th. And Dallas got a bunch of young secondary players who will only get better.
Which team has Rodgers and which team has your guy?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Joy. That's an interesting discussion to have.
What is it?
Because those two have gone head-to-head 3 times. We're talking about Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers.
And what's the word?
And let's just do QBR, my favorite stat. 0 to 100 is the scale, right? And first time at Green Bay, this is 2 years ago, Dak had a 65 QBR to Aaron Rodgers 30. You want to write that down? 65 to 30. The playoff game was pretty much head-to-head. They sort of traded throw for touchdown throw. And my guy had a 79 to Aaron's 80 in QBR. And then last year at Jerry World, my guy had a 97 to Aaron's 74. Now, Green Bay won the game because there was no Sean Lee in the second half to stop them. Well, that's what happened. He was gone for 6 games. They went 1-5. That was the whole season right there. I told you. And so if we just do the average QBR of their 3 head-to-head meetings, it's 80 for Dak and 61 for Aaron. So he's outplayed him over a 3-game stretch. I think that's a pretty big body of work.
Well, Joe, I don't have no fancy analytics, so I like to do let's just do dubs. Let's do dubs and L's. And in the 3 matchups that they played, Aaron Rodgers has 2 dubs.
He does.
And Dak has.
Well, actually, it should.
No,
It's
Mason.
1-1 because Mason Crossbar had got one of them.
See, you see, Skip.
Well, he got one of them.
Why you do that?
Well, he won the game. Aaron didn't win the game.
I've been watching you for a long time. Before I started doing this, I had to do my research.
Yeah.
Now, I remember times that Peyton Manning would have a higher QBR than Tom Brady. He would throw for more yards and have more touchdowns, but Tom Brady won, and Tom Brady was the better of the quarterbacks. Now, all of a sudden, fast forward, say 13, 14 years, and now here we are. Aaron Rodgers has busted this young man's head to the white meat twice. And now all of a sudden,
Busted him?
Yeah, to the white meat.
Okay, wait. This young man, Dak Prescott, against Aaron Rodgers, has 9 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, and Aaron has 6 touchdowns to 2 interceptions.
If you don't mind me,
say that young man's outplayed Aaron Rodgers?
If you don't mind me asking.
Interesting.
If you don't mind me asking, who's attended my restaurant twice and who's attended it once?
Mason Crossbar.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
He went by himself that night. He had a table for one.
Hey, I got me a little pop-up shop in Jerry's Cowboy in Jerry's World.
Yeah, you do.
Pop-up shop because I know them how they're going to be served on the reg.
You know what? This is a big year. Pressure's mounting on Aaron Rodgers. He's going on 35 years of age, and so it's been 7 years since he won his one and only Super Bowl appearance. And since then,
it's been triple that for the Cowboys since they won.
Well, wait a second. Aaron Rodgers, since that Super Bowl, is 5-6 in the postseason, and he's only 3-2 at home. And he lost the 2 home games, obviously, to Eli and to Colin Kaepernick. But his wins at home will come over Joe Webb, then the Dez non-catch game, and then the boat trip Giants. That's who he's beating at home. That's not all that impressive.
Well.
I'd say pressure is mounting on Aaron Rodgers. You better come up big this year.
Now, when we talk about your guy up in New England, you always preface everything you said. But Joey, he threw for a playoff record 505. Forget the Super Bowl, a playoff record 505 yards.
That's in all the playoff games ever played. He threw for the most yards.
Wow! And so that makes it he took the biggest L.
And by the way,
he took the biggest. If you go for the most yards,
he did that at age 40.
Yeah,
how is that possible?
And took because now you see Now Tom Brady is getting an opportunity to see what it's like to be in Peyton Manning's shoes or
You know
Aaron
who
Rodgers.
took the biggest L was the head coach.
No, don't do that.
Bill
Coach Belichick is still great, all-time great. Yes, he is.
He was all-time awful
Stop
in that game.
Tom Brady dropped the pass that would have been a touchdown.
It would not have been a touchdown.
Oh, it would have been a first down.
Please. It was a terrible.
It was a first. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't think even Shannon Sharp.
Oh, hey, Shannon Sharp would have caught that thing with one hand and been in the end zone doing the hula. Yeah.
All right.
Has Kevin